Hi guys, my name is Diana and this is Creativity Incorporated. Today in my cave, I call my creative space cave sometimes, and if you don't know, but today I wanted to do my new scrapbook for the year of 2023. I know it's a little already kind of late, but I want to start it already, and I already want to scrapbook it and stuff, but I'm making large scrapbooks. So I think this is like 11. Wait, is it 11? Yes, it's about 10. No, sorry, it's 10 by 14. So it's the same kind of like square inch kind of scenario, but instead of being a 12 by 12, it's a 10 by 14. So here it is. You see that? Sorry, it's 12 by 16. I mean, no. 10 by 16. Let me measure it. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, it's 10 by, knock it off, 12. Knock it off. By 4, yeah, 16. So it's 12 by 16. And this is wood. I made this journal for 2022, and there will be a link down below for this journal. These are corners made out of soda can. This edge protector and lock is also made out of soda can. And yeah, I made it all for you guys in the video, and I to explain there how I get it done. The binding on this is it's kind of like a tie down. So the signature is stapled together, and then the outer edges of the signature are attached to a kind of like it's kind of like a spider. It's a piece of, in this case, it's a piece of leather with the piece of leather is cut into 4 sort of, but halfway here and halfway here, and this center piece is not cut, so it's divided like this. So the 2 upper parts go on the upper part, and then the 2 bottom parts do the same thing. And you can remove them and move them and stuff like that. I like to bind my journals and books so that I have flexibility to rearrange or move, take away or add stuff. Most of my journals will have that flexibility. I mostly don't use it, but I feel really comfortable making my journals and binding techniques that I can do that with. In any case, this is everything that you see here. I painted this, the pencil. It's just, I mean, a pen. I'm waiting for 2 pictures, or maybe 3. This one, I didn't arrive, but it was cutting somebody off, so I gotta I sent it to print again. And I'm kind of just gonna go by real quick. You know what, it's kind of hard to show you like top to bottom, but yeah, my grandson's first time on the snow. Went to Solvang, San Diego, and out and about. My husband and his grandson, he's totally like hooked on him. My son in golf. We went to Disneyland, Sweetheart's Night, but I went with my son. My son took me, so he's like, "Mom, come on." And so we went. We were wearing matching. We have matching jackets, so we wore matching jackets, and we also have matching shirts. We had lots of fun. Legoland. My daughter, her name is Jolette, so that's her making donuts and having a little restaurant. I'm just gonna go by real quick. I have a thing for his socks, so I have one here and I have one right here sitting on my desk. I mean, he's almost 2 now, and I still have like his baby socks. And so his first birthday, footprints, handprints. This is my son, my youngest son, turning 11. This is my oldest son's first Father's Day. And I said the reason, but then this is the son. Get it? The reason for the Father's Day? I don't know. I feel like it would have made more sense if the pages would have been matching. But since colors don't go together, or they don't look like they're singing with one another, I think it gets lost in translation. But daughter's birthday. And this is a way I like, let me show you what I do with the scrapbook paper, because I still use all of the scrapbook paper. So scrapbook paper goes from here to about here, right? And and it goes from here to about right here. So I have 2 inches left on this side, and the 2 inches usually, like in this case, it had cakes. So what I did is I cut some of those cakes and put them on this side of the page. So it kind of like, they get pulled together, right? And then, like in this case, I cut out, this is all one page. Like this part right here and this part right here is all the same page. I think all of the pages in this layout, but it's the scrapbook paper that is on this page. Oh, this is my dog and this is my daughter's dog, but since I doggy sit her often and she's like a puppy, she's like a little clumsy dog, so these are things that she does funny. Anyways, a bookstore that's in Los Angeles is called The Last Bookstore. It's beautiful, and it has like a lot of like sculptures made out of books and stuff. They have a bridge, they have like windows. It's really, really cute. And I made these little books to kind of decorate the page. But see, in this case, I completed the page adding like a trim of another page. And, you know, it's this much of a black paper. It's not like the whole length. But I have 2 of the same sheets, and I completed it that way. Sorry, I wish I could show you the whole thing all at once, but I cannot. See, also in this case, the way I brought, and these are leftovers from another year, I think. But I'll put a piece of the scrapbook paper on this side and some on this side, so they marry together, you know, so they're still like connected and bonded. My kids, and then Halloween. At first, this would bother me, that you could see the bottom page and like excuse me, and you know, you couldn't see it. But I feel like now I love it and appreciate the depth of it, you know. This is my daughter's shopping list for when we made pumpkin pies, or pumpkin, and all her little things that she was doing. The kiddos, these are the 2 youngest. Anyway, so same thing here. This is a scrapbook paper, and you can't see here, but the leftover that was here, because the paper has a pattern, you can't see it on screen. I matched that pattern here on this side, and you can't tell, but the other 2 inches that were supposed to be coming on this side, I put them on the top, and now it looks like it's one paper all the way from up here to all the way down here. And doesn't it look cool? And on this side, what I did is I make it even smaller, so it looks like it's just framing like the center piece. And that way, because I didn't want to be collecting 2 inches every time I used the whole page. So I started making them smaller, and now I have like a bigger piece to save for like another frame or another picture. My son's an inspiring engineer, so he got his 3D printer, and this is him soldering. Let me see. Oh, another way you can do scrapbook paper or backgrounds is I paint it. I usually have, so these are painted. I give her the colors and I kind of tell her how to do it. But I like that it's her hand doing them, you know? Like, I use her hand print in different colors as the background on this one. I had her paint some water under this one. And then, like on this one, I told her to put like all her little fingers as polka dots in the background. And that's how I've seen questions like on Facebook and stuff like that about, like, you know, the junk journals, like groups. I see them wanting to do big formats or different formats other than 12 by 12. And this would be a very, for me, it's part of the fun trying to figure out how many use the paper without like looking awkwardly not the size. Like for this one, in this case, I used it on this side, but I only used a little strip on this side. And then like inside it's not in here, it's just in this part, right? And then the inside of this, I put it on this side, right? And then I cut it from here to here. Oh, little one, can all the way to here, but you don't see that much, but it's right here. But it comes all the way over here. And then like I only cut a little square because the other piece, put it here so it looks like it's all the way the big complete page, right? This candy fell off. And I'll cut out pieces from the paper and then I'll put it on the picture itself. Anyway, so that's how I do a lot of the crafting. And in this case, I just used the same color from like the paper that I wanted to use, ephemera, and then I just used it as the background. In this case, I like saving my daughter's artwork, or you know, their achievements and stuff like that. So I made this little craft pocket. I don't know if you can see it right here. It's a pocket right here. You see it? And I just thread it with that thick thread. What is it called? It's escaping me. The one you embroider thread right here, the yellow one. And then that's how I make my pocket. And so I'm gonna make one for the 2023 early on, and then I'm gonna stick them here or something like that. Or I've been saving them, so I want to just kind of start throwing them on the here. So I was thinking of making it earlier, the pocket like this, and then just keep on every time I want to keep something, do that. Here's another picture I forgot I didn't get to print. Well, I printed, but I printed wrong, so I'm waiting for it. We went to an underground garden, people. I know that sounds funny, but it's true. It is an underground garden. It's in Fresno, California, and you guys look it up. It's truly underground garden. So I'm waiting for the big picture here. This is me and the kiddos, and it's mostly lemon. It's a lemon tree underground garden, so that's why I put lemons. This is my kids love skating. So Christmas kind of little. I have something here. You know that one ephemera that you know goes good with this page, this layout, but I haven't found it, so I don't know. I left it there, the spot. See, this is how I will use pieces of scrapbook. Like I'll use just a little tiny strip of it, and then here is another piece of another, but it's from the same set. And then I use another piece on this side, and then to tie it all together, I just made a little frame of marker. So it kind of looks like they go together, sort of, kind of in a way. This isn't crazy way I did it. It's like a wooden plank kind of scrapbook paper, so I just grabbed strips. I see if some of them were falling off or is missing chunks or something. I was thinking of doing like going back with ink or color pencils and just filling in the blanks, but it's a lot of work and I just wanted to move forward. So I use the Jack in the Box napkin or paper like thing to frame my background. And so yeah, that's how it looks, red. And this is 2023, like New Year's. And this is the background I painted for. I have a lot of pictures. I like to take pictures of my kids sleeping. I know. I feel like a lot of parents do too. But so I wanted to collect all of the ones here, so I left some spot. This one's kind of like, I have a glue that kind of like glues, but it comes undone. So I kind of lightly glue them here, and when I'm ready to do my layout, I take it off. But kind of wanted to give you a little glance of my journal, a little flip through before okay, my dog is shedding, and this is ridiculous. The amount of shed that it goes through that dog. Actually, both of them. I'm doggy sitting, so if you guys hear them arguing, it's them. So, last week, let me put it away. Last week, I made, where do they go? I made these, right? Because, well, I had my complete intentions of, let me bring it back up, to do this to them, right? To make my corners, but I really wanted to make them out of brass, so I even used a piece of wood that's the same thickness. I put another piece of fabric, not fabric, but thickness, so that when I did my shaping, it went around, because I was thinking of using it with leather, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, this is not how I'm going to use my scrapbook this year. And sadly to say, these might not be used on my scrapbook. I know, all that work for nothing, right? But check this out. I know. Okay. I found this book in the secondhand store. Look. Look how ginormous it is. I love it. Okay. It is, where's my ruler? Okay. I know, it's super ginormous. The cover from this fold, before the fold, to the edge is exactly the 12 inches, right? Then this way is 12 plus almost 6, so it's about 12 by 18, right? So it's a little bigger than mine. It's 2 inches taller and 2 inches wider, which I don't mind. The one thing I really have to mention is I really dislike red. Not dislike like, but I just avoid it at all costs, and I really don't like red. So I was really bothered that this cover had so much red. So, but I discovered that if you grab like an alcohol ink marker, I did this, I think it's burnt umber, and I just went around on top of all the red and put a little bit of brown. It still comes across like a little red, but it's more of a brownish tone, and I think I'm okay with that. You know, it's kind of like a woodish, leatherish tone, and I was okay with that. I just didn't want it to be red, and I know it's a lot of red, and I went through it, and I just sat here and I went through every little single piece of red, and yeah, I think it looks better. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with this. I know I wanted black, but since I've turned the red into brownish, I think that it suits it better, you know? Look. What do you think? Uniting the book, the front cover and the back cover with the spine leather, it's kind of self-explanatory. You know, I usually score my pieces, especially when they're so big or heavy or they're thick. You know, when I know they're gonna be pretty stressed, I always make sure I score all of my pieces so that they have a good adhesion. Adhesion. Sorry, I don't even know how to say that. But yeah, just to make sure that I do that, especially in big books. But while that's happening on your screen, I want to thank you guys for your thumbs up and your comments. It really makes, you know, putting your family aside, or, you know, the watching TV and scratching my belly kind of time. and sitting here and creating stuff for you guys, it makes it worthwhile. It makes it like, okay, I guess that, you guys do like what I say, what I put out here. And it makes me feel like I'm on the right track when you guys, like something, or make me give me a comment, even if it's like a comment to say, correct me in a way, or say something that I should do different. Those things are like even better for me, because I learn from that. Like, I always want to know like things what I can change and encourage, grow on. So I would encourage those comments too. Well, if you have something to encourage me or help me, learn from. Okay, so for the inside of the book, I covered it with just regular kind of butcher paper. It was that rolls, those rolls that my like little kids draw on and stuff like that. So that's what I used for the inside cover. And so now I'm moving on to, the beginning of my binding. Um, to make the holes along the side, um, not the holes, but like I need to put like those rivets, but they're bigger than regular, and I don't have like a particular tool to set them. So my way to go around it is to cut the leather, because if I use the drill on the leather, I've seen it pull and it looks ugly. So I try to cut the hole first, then use the drill bit to cut it, to cut into the hole. Then, because it ripped on the inside, what I do is I'll cut around the big bulge that it leaves. And later on in the my other holes, what I do is when I'm having the drill, I go up and down, in and out on the hole. But then I also kind of like turn, like open the circle of the drill as I go, instead of just simply going up and down on the hole. I kind of go around so that it opens the hole a little wider, and it cleans that up a little bit more, so I don't have to do so much cleanup with the knife. Although it looks kind of like barbaric, or the big hole like an explosion, when you put that eyelet on it, it kind of covers all of it. And it most of the what broke, it's what's in the hole, because it's, remember, it's a kind of like a big hole. It's a I think it's about a quarter of an inch hole, or maybe bigger. And then so it makes a like a little rip, but then the eyelid really does cover all of it. I go around with my knife and just very carefully. This is an actual time, so you guys can see it's kind of fast. But if you want to take your time and clean it really good, so that you don't rip more of the paper, like I did in this case. What I did here is also I clean it and smooth it out, because when you put both ends of the eyelid, you want it as smooth as possible so you don't struggle as much. And these long pliers, like needle nose pliers, make it really easy for the hole to be cleaned from the inside, smoothed out, and then cleaned out as much as possible. Then, because the thickness of the cover and the leather and the paper are too thick for the eyelid to actually do its thing and like do the cringe in the middle, or do the cringe on the inner eyelid, because this eyelid is a part A and part B, so it has like an inner and an outer eyelid. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I have been asked before where I get these. It's a set, so like you get in a box sets of eyelets that go in and out of the fabric in many cases, because I did get them from the fabric side of the store. So they're not meant to cover, in a sense, almost about a quarter of material, which is the cover. This is a very thick cover, the leather, and the inside paper. So what I do is I just pretty much just glue them on there, and then once it's in there, I'll go in with those same pliers, those needle nose pliers, and kind of try to open the inside of the eyelid that is supposed to be opened when you do that. So it's like a cup. So it's a male and female kind of shape. So when I do the needle pliers in the inside, it kind of opens the one that's inner, and it makes it fit a little snugger. Okay, here we go. This is how it turned out. How do you guys think? Like, I love it. This idea came from, you know, the traditional, I wanted it to be like a traditional book binding when you have those little stripes at the end. But then I also needed some way to bind my book. So I felt like that could be like a double function. So it could be visual on the aesthetics of, you know, vintage or traditional book. And this could also be binding in a way. And so I used the same material for this to this, and I loved it. It took I mean, I know you guys don't see, like, you know, some of the thoughts and process behind the screen, but it took me forever to decide what color I wanted the strap. I wanted it black. I took out black leather. I took out every single color of leather little pieces I had. And I put them up and I couldn't get it, and it was just, you know, too much different colors, and I was going crazy. But then at the same time, I didn't want this color here. I don't know. So I noticed that when I did this piece, there was like a little bit left, and I was like, is that perfect or is that perfect? So it worked out. I managed somehow to put this on here. It wasn't like perfect, but it worked out. I literally grabbed the bottom of it and I went, nope. I kind of liked it down here, but I know that once you know, you fatten your book, it was gonna look like lopsided. So I was like, but I really liked the aesthetics of it being here. But if it would have been thick enough, it would have been probably okay to do it down here. And so I didn't have this much of a thickness. So I kind of went, and I was like, well, the middle is kind of here, but it would have looked awkward here. So I was like, wait a minute, what if I put it here? And I loved it. I know it's like some OCD people might be like, what the heck? That's like not where it goes. But I loved it. I loved when it went there. Anyways, so this feels like leather so much. So I feel like it feels more this than this. But because it's so many layers of glue, at this point it's just like a thick layer of glue. So I feel like I like it that way. I don't think it's gonna rip or anything. I think it's gonna be very durable. And I am not going to paint the under. I feel like you know, with leather you have the two-tone kind of thing. And I kind of liked that it did that. So I feel like if you see it on the side, it gave you more of that feel of, wait, it's not, what is it? What's going on here? So I want to do that. I'm thinking maybe, you know, like a brass. Now that I'm into brass, I think I want to do like a brass plaque. I'm learning different processes of how to use brass in different kinds of aesthetics. You know, and let me pull out one of the brass corners. And I still was so, what is it called when you like lock onto certain idea? And I really was like, well, what if I do it now? Look how much it doesn't match. Oh man. But I found like different things, and I have the perfect fabric for this, and you guys gonna see it and love it just as much as me. So anyways, enough talking. Let's go to the inside. Yes, look at it. It's so beautiful. I love how this looks. I feel like it really accentuates you know, the old style. These little strap like reminiscences, I got them like, I don't know, about a year ago in I don't know if it's like a flea market or some kind of market, and I had a whole bag of little pieces that some guy sold me for $1. So this worked out. This is faux leather, so you can't really tell that much, I guess. I don't know, in my book or here. And I went kind of simple. I went with that butcher kind of paper, butcher style paper. And I did that because I don't need it to be thicker. I don't, because I use so much layers on it. Like I'll do like a scrapbook paper on it, then the picture will have its own paper background. So I feel like at the end of when it's said and done, each paper will be thick enough so that, you know, it is what it is. It's thicker than butcher paper because it's like meant for kids to paint and draw on, and it's meant to hold that, so it's a little thicker, so I think it will be fine. I did the same amount of signatures and papers that I did for my last year's journal, which 2022, and I think it will be fine. It was perfect for me, the amount, and it'll probably be perfect for this time, I think. And it, you know, that I was thinking when I was making, I was like four seasons, you know. I thought it was cool that that it kind of fell into that aesthetics for me. As to here, once I started, I feel like I should write like a prayer for the year, or you know, maybe have my kids write a prayer for the year for 2023 or something like that. I have this thing of like when I journal with my kids, we do the hand, you know, print thing. Maybe we could do something like that, but for now, I like the cleanness of it. I may just leave it like that. I don't know, but I like how it is so far. I like that I didn't bring the white all the way. Sorry about all that shaking. My dogs are playing around me, and so you guys hear a lot of noise and fighting and stuff. It's them. Believe it or not, they're going around me as we speak and under the table and everywhere. And I like the contrast between this white and this leather. It's the same. This is the same paper as this. So I think it'll kind of connect it together. If you wonder why I don't coffee dye my papers, it's because I like to use bright colors for like summer, pinks, blues, and reds, and I feel like if I dyed it, it would not give that clean, cool summer, you know, breeze or whatever. And I like to start fresh with a fresh canvas, and I do have a lot of like, you know, different colors of them anyway, you know, like in this page. I love this binding that I did. I feel like strong enough. I mean, it's not like this is flipped every day or all the time, so I feel like it's durable enough for what it is. And I really enjoy the playfulness of, you know, you're not expecting what's next on the binding. And I do like that it's not on every page, you know. You get a free one in the middle, like, you know, free slate. You don't have like anything here, but let me know what you guys think, what you guys would have done different. Let me know if you would have used black leather. Like, raise your hand if you would have done black leather on this journal. Or if you like these colors, or if you would have put corners. I'm still gonna do this here too. I'm gonna do a plaque, but I want to get more, what is it called, like knowledgeable on brass, because I know you can emboss or build and stuff like that on it. So I can see the gold here, and like I don't know yet. Maybe I'll do like a little relief here. I don't know. I want to give it a little bit of time, but I kind of wanted to show you guys how I did like the basics of it and the excitement. I want to share the excitement of the book with you guys, and I just wanted to show you guys what I did and how I did my journals. I know a lot of people, you know, ask about questions about big journals, and I love big journals, and I hope you do too. Let me know. Raise your hands if you do big journals too, or if you make your scrapbooks too. Till next time, guys, stay safe, stay crafting, and I love you guys. Bye.